All right, good morning, everyone. We're excited to announce today a contract extension for Tito through the 2022 season. We'll open it up for questions in a minute. But Tito does such an extraordinary job of always deflecting credit and talking about other people. He's going to have to sit just for a minute and listen to just how strongly we feel about him as an organization and the incredible impact he's made here. The on-field results they're obvious. 6 consecutive winning seasons, 3 consecutive American League Central championships, the best record in the American League since he's been our manager. That's obvious to everyone. I think what may not be as obvious is what happens behind the scenes. And that's what really is so valuable to every person in the organization and what Tito means to us. So when we started our managerial search process in 2012, we really sought to find a leader that could help transform and elevate our organization, really help establish a culture in which people thrive, and someone who can help find ways to relentlessly push us to continue to get better, bring us together as an organization, and partner with everyone in it to create the best environment possible. We had exceedingly high expectations when we hired Tito, and the unbelievable thing is as high as those expectations were, he's gone on to exceed those every day. And it's not just, again, with what happens on the field, it's what happens behind the scenes. In those moments when we're struggling or we're facing challenges or there are those moments of adversity, that's when Tito's at his best. And he's always helping us find a way to make it better. And so couldn't be more excited to continue to partner alongside Tito. Everyone throughout the organization feels the exact same way and is equally excited. So thanks, Tito. And we'll open to you on it. Do you have anything you want to say?
No, that was by far plenty.
All right, we'll open up the questions. Sorry about that.
Tito, you spent 8 years in Boston, and I don't know if you give something like this thought, but after you left there, did you ever think you might spend 8-10 years at another place?
I don't know that I ever really gave that thought, to be truthful with you. I try really hard to stay kind of in the moment because I think it's the best way to be successful. I will say this, I have no ambition to ever work somewhere else. I mean, there's going to come a time when I can't do this job the way I want to because of age or, you know, that may happen at some point. But I don't have any ambition to ever go somewhere else. That's because of the people here.
So Chris, given that the lineup is different than it was last year, what can Terry do to bring you through and you don't have all the hitting and everything that you've had in the past?
Yeah, I think there are a few things that go into that. One, we have to figure out what the roster looks like. But that's one of the other things that Tito does such an extraordinary job with, is figuring out ways to position people to be successful, to find what players do well and give them an opportunity to put them in those situations to shine. And so regardless of what a player's strengths might be, there's a reason why he's on the roster, and Tito will try to find a way to put him in a position to succeed. And that will continue to be the case with whatever the composition of the roster will be. And we all know that may fluctuate over time, but Tito always finds a way to get the most out of the guys that are here.
Chris, you touched on this a little bit before, but how comforting is it to have this security that you don't have to worry about the managerial situation?
It's a huge strength organizationally, I think, to continue to have that continuity, and not just continuity for continuity's sake, but to have someone who's such an extraordinary leader as Tito that impacts his impact extends far beyond the major league team. It's throughout the organization. He's really helped unite us, whether it's our scouts that come in and are welcomed and embraced in the clubhouse. His engagement with our front office, not just Mike and me, but everyone throughout the front office, our player development staff. So, as we think about the future of the organization, that's an incredibly powerful and meaningful thing.
Gee, I know you probably don't think about this either, though, but how are you different as a manager than you were when you walked in here in 2013?
Boy, I think because of the way I'm treated, I think I'm allowed to be myself, which takes, I think, a lot of patience on other people's part, which I appreciate. But I think it's made me better. I know it's made me a better person. the respect that they give the coaches, you know, like Millsy and the guys that just work so hard that it makes me feel good. And I just think we collaborate so much, and there'll be times we'll have meetings and I'll say something, when I leave the meeting, I'm like, why would I say that? And then about 2 days later, I'll say, Chris, I don't know why, and he'll be like, yeah, I knew you'd come around to it. Instead of just, just there's always so much patience in trying to see the good in people that, like, I don't think the guys above where I am get the credit that they deserve, because I know it starts with them and it trickles down and we take our lead from them.
Tito, how special is this situation just to be here in Cleveland with a front office like you have?
Well, and it's not just, obviously, but, ownership has a big say in when you sign contracts like this, so obviously I'm appreciative of that. I love working here. You asked the question about the lineup. We're going to get challenged. I'm not afraid of that. We're going to try to figure things out together. Hopefully we do a good job of it. Sometimes we struggle, but we're going to do it together. And I enjoy doing that with people that I really care about.
Terry, has this been what you thought it would be? Has anything surprised you over the last 6 years? Walking in day one, what did you expect, and how has it lived up to it?
I thought Mike Chernoff would be better. I had to say one thing. No, Chris laid it out pretty good before he came here. I don't think he wanted me to get in a situation where I'd come from Boston where maybe things were done a little differently. And he really kind of told me the lay of the land. And kind of like Chris said, I would say if anything, it's been better because now I know the guys better. Because I knew Chris so well already, but then all of a sudden, then I know Cherney. Okay, so then through Cherney, you know Binder, and through Binder, it's just, so it's not just one guy, it's about 20 guys. One of my least favorite things is when you're in a room and you leave and you feel like people were maybe laughing at you or laughing at something you said. And I've told Chris this many times, I've never felt like that here. And there's plenty of times that could have happened. And I just don't feel that way. Everybody has everybody's back. And I appreciate that.
Tito, how have you, you see so many younger managers now come in, it's all analytics. The front office is kind of calling the shots. How have you melded your style with, the Indian style with analytics and to, just to stay at the top of your game?
One, okay, you never want to compromise who you are. I don't think it works like that. So I feel like I have an obligation to the organization, to the team, not to guess. I don't think that is fair to anybody. The guys give me the information that I can use during a game. They make it they put it where it's applicable for me. I could say dumb it down, maybe however you want to say it, but they make it applicable. They do it for all the coaches. We're just trying not to guess, and there's information that sometimes I may not agree with, or I'll ask Sky, hey, explain this to me because I do want to use it, but to use it, you got to understand it, or you got to believe in it. But we're still in the people business, and I think if you ever forget that, you're really missing out.
Tito, you alluded before we started to your health. Obviously, this contract will take you through 2022. How confident?
I hope.
Excited? Okay, good. But excited, confident.
Every year, not to make light, but every year when they put up the people that passed away the last year, I'm always so grateful I'm not on that.
But feeling good, feeling strong, feeling healthy.
I kind of, no, I never, no. You know what, I'm okay, I'm fine I swim every day and it really helps. They put the SwimX out in Arizona, which really, it makes my whole outlook better. You know, I struggle sometimes with the travel and stuff. I'm getting older and I'm a little beat up. But I love what I do. Like, I don't ever dread coming to the ballpark. Like, I mean, I got up this morning and I set my alarm for 6:45 and I was up at 6:15 because I wanted to come to the ballpark. I always feel like that.
Chris, Terry, this is kind of a question for you to answer about each other. Since the day you started this relationship to now, each year is different and relationships foster things. Is there one ingredient about each other that day in and day out you guys have leaned on to get yourselves to this point?
Happy to.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I think the thing
We'll
that
probably
stands-
get the same answer.
I think the thing that stands out most for me with Tito is just he's such an extraordinary teammate to everyone he's around. And you know that when you're together with him, you're working on the same team, pulling in the same direction, trying to make the same thing happen. And to have that trust and that bond, to know that no matter what's happening, no matter what obstacles or challenges we're facing, that we're in it together, working to try to figure it out together, I think that's kind of what makes it so special. There is never, at one point, we've made plenty of mistakes within the front office and throughout the organization, and never one time has Tito been like, oh, that's someone else's fault. It's like, okay, what's happened? How can we make it better? And I think that mindset and that mentality is one of the things that helps differentiate Tito, one of the things I value most.
But I would say the same thing. I mean, we inevitably, when something happens, if not the first thing, the second thing that's out of somebody's mouth is, how are we going to make this better? Because nobody's perfect. None of us are remotely close to that. But together, I feel like we got a fighting chance if we do it together and we can figure it out together. I mean, like, I marvel at, during the winter meetings, when these guys are sitting there talking about these trades, and I can't keep up. So, I mean, we each have our area. They have been so respectful of our area down here. I hope that in turn we've been the same way with their area because they're so good at it.
Chris, any skydiving provisions or alligator wrestling?
Alligator wrestling, that's one we haven't seen yet. Oh, that's a good one.
Sharks
Yeah.
swimming.
Nor will you.
I think you said you're done. Are you done with skydiving?
My feet are on the ground.
Yeah. That was a fun experience, a good team building experience. Now that we've all made it down safely, it was a good team building experience, so it was fun.
There was a rumor that Paul was rooting against me on that.
I heard that Paul was going next year. Did you hear that?
No, I did. That'll be the last of that. That was fun and enough.
Chris,
Yes.
sustainability obviously was a theme during the off-season. When you sat down as an organization to kind of map things out, was this one of those goals to get an extension?
That was at or near the top of the list. I think having continuity with Tito was paramount to our vision of success moving forward, so absolutely.
Tito, if this, I think you guys tried to get younger this year. You're playing a lot of younger guys, made some deals. I mean, if this continues, if I guess, would you be comfortable if this team, if you have to rebuild, if, somewhere between now and 2022?
Okay, one, I'm not afraid. I want to be a part of the solution here, regardless of where we are. I think the reason, and I think Chris and Cherney and the guys really explained it well, the reason we did what we did was so we can keep our window open and continue to try to win. But sometimes things happen in our game that sometimes they're out of your control, sometimes you make wrong decisions, sometimes things don't work. I'm not afraid of that, if that's what you're asking. I'd like to be a part of the solution, whatever it is.
Chris, did you meet with Frankie yet? Have you guys spoken with him about what's going to happen over the next couple of weeks?
We did. We connected with Frankie this morning. So he's in a really good spot mentally. He wants to tackle each day that's in front of him and get the most out of it, and then just check the box for each day and move on to the next one. So he's going to do some light activity over the next week to 10 days and hopefully continue to build that up, and then we'll reassess things at that point and see what's next.
So no date really circled or anything, just kind of...
Yeah, no specific date, but Frankie is chomping at the bit, and he feels like he's in a really good spot to tackle what's in front of him, and then move forward from there.
Will he be here then, or is he going to be in Arizona, or where?
He'll be here or he'll be around the team for at least for the next week to 10 days.
Is the calf still an issue, or is it all focused on the ankle right now?
Right now, mostly focused on the ankle, the calf. In Frankie's words, as soon as he injured his ankle, he forgot about the calf.
Anything on Kipnis? Anything?
Yeah,
how he-
Kip's traveling today, and there's a good chance he will begin a rehab assignment on Friday
At Columbus? Or-
at Columbus. Anything to add on to any of those guys?
No, I don't think so.